If you want to create some of the best AI images, then Midjourney is the tool for you. There's a lot of tools out there in today's world within ChatGPT, within Google Gemini, within Grok, a lot of the AI tools that you probably use every day. There's also some advanced tools which do both image and video, but this video today is about Midjourney, and Midjourney has actually been around longer than ChatGPT. It was launched in July 2022, months before ChatGPT went live, and it's a really amazing tool. And whether you're a beginner and you've never used it before, hopefully today you can learn some things about Midjourney. And if you're just starting to use the tools and you want to learn how to level up your game and create better images, then you're in the perfect place. So we're going to go over to midjourney.com. They have a web-based tool, which I highly recommend. When it was first launched, you could only use it through Discord, and it wasn't very user-friendly, and you could only create a few images at a time and on a mobile device or on a web platform through Discord. But personally, in the past couple years, they've launched this web tool, and it makes editing, it makes creation pretty cool and quick. When you come to the Midjourney website, they do have different options. It is a paid service, so it's not exactly free if you want to use it to create. When you look at the homepage, they have different images that you can look at. And within these images, you can actually click on the image that someone else created, and you can see the prompt that they used, which I think is pretty great for inspiration. So before AI art, if you imagine something and you had no artistic ability or no ability to use camera photography, then pretty much that image just stayed in your head. And in today's world, if you can learn these tools, you can literally imagine and then create. And the cooler part of the AI image tool, which this will be one of the future tutorials, is using a tool like Midjourney and combining it with a video creation tool to actually create cinematic type movies. I think that these tools have gotten better in the past year. And I'd imagine in 2025, you're going to start to see some of these tools being used, like actually in Hollywood. They've already started. So
what we're using it now for is, my background is in professional film and television, and we're now fine-tuning what I call ultra narrow AI, fine-tuning our model to work in professional content creation. So film, TV, gaming, and marketing and advertising.
How far are we from creating reality given the technology that exists right now? How far are we from me starring in my favorite episode, Star Trek?
You should be in that now.
I know.
If it was up to me.
But in all seriousness, in terms of video generation on the fly, where I have a request to create something extraordinary that looks real,
I would say that's going to happen this year. I think within 6 to 12 months.
with that, we'll look at create. And on this sidebar has quite a bit of information. The help section is definitely great as far as getting information about various prompts. They have a little chat where you can talk to people and get help, which if you're struggling or you're trying to figure out how to do something, I would recommend coming here. And within the actual help section, there's resources, prompt crafting. So you can really spend quite a bit of time going into some of these things. But for the purposes today, we're just going to go and we're going to start to create some images. On the web-based app, you can create your images here. You can also upload reference images, which I think is kind of cool. For the purposes of this, we're going to create a photorealistic pink cat in a spacesuit in outer space. All right. We're going to see what it gives us. And after, I'm going to show you how you can kind of level up the prompt with minimal work. You could spend quite a bit of time crafting some of these things, but you can also use AI tools like Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT to actually take a quick idea and turn it into a very descriptive, detailed prompt, and then modify it from there. Once you do that, it's going to take a few minutes. It's usually it'll give you 4 images initially. And while this is loading, I'm going to head over to Gemini, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to ask Gemini to actually create a more descriptive, detailed prompt. And the one thing to note is occasionally it'll actually create an image within Gemini and ChatGPT, which I've noticed, sometimes using different models. I'm going to go to this. So right now I'm trying the Gemini Advanced 2.0 Pro Experimental, and we're going to try Claude, and we're also going to try ChatGPT. And for ChatGPT, we're going to use the 4.0 model. We're going to try Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT. Let's see what it turns out. So this was my initial prompt: a photorealistic pink cat in a spacesuit standing on the moon with Earth in the background. And this is what came out with. I don't know about you, but I can't see the cat. This will be Gemini's prompt. And this will be Claude's prompt. And this will be ChatGPT's prompt. So after we go through and we find one that we like, I'm actually going to show you how to edit. All right, so I'm going to switch this up a little because I don't like any of these images. So we're going to try a regular cat in a spacesuit, gray and white cat. And I use Gemini to create that. And so far, out of all these prompts, this was just Midjourney. And obviously I could have specified more and probably added additional detail, and it may have looked better. The Gemini, not horrible, but definitely not realistic. This was Claude. And this was ChatGPT. Probably the most realistic looking for pink cat. And now this is Gemini again, and I specified a glass helmet. All right, we're gonna go with this image. And now I'm gonna show you how you can edit it. From the create area, once you find an image that you actually like, you can click on the image, and on the right side, you'll see some creation actions. You can quickly vary the image. So say you like this, but you just want it varied a little bit. You can have a subtle variation or a strong variation. And right when you click on those, it will put these images in the queue, and it will start to create a subtle variation and now a strong, because I clicked both of them. So we'll check those out in a minute. As far as the upscale, if you want to take this image and create a larger, higher resolution, image of this, then you can create upscale. And again, subtle or creative. I'm going to click on both for these purposes. Some of these other creation actions, you can reuse the image, the style, or the prompt. And again, everything so far is just clicking. And the area that you can actually edit stuff is under more, where there's an editor. So rerun just reruns this prompt. Editor will actually bring you into a screen where you can erase sections and then rerun it, or you can make the image larger. So on this scale option, you can make a larger image. So for the purposes of this, I'm going to grab this and I'm going to scale out the image. The other quick tools up here, images are generally processed in a 1-to-1 ratio unless you specify it in the prompt. So you can quickly turn these into various image sizes, 16:9, which would be like a standard photo, and some other standard. But we are going to go ahead and submit this. And let's go back to what we created. So we upscaled this image. And we created variations of these images. And if you notice, it's convenient on the right-hand side, where if you do a variation, sometimes you're doing so much and you can easily get lost. So it actually will specify the variations. If you notice, we zoomed out so you can create different size images with more detail. The other thing too is you can click the editor and there's an eraser. So say I want to erase this rock right here and these rocks and the tail. And this is just the eraser size. If you go ahead and submit it, we'll take a look at exactly what this returns for us. This was the old image. And you notice that's the new image. Old image with the tail and the rocks, new image. I think that's pretty cool. And then you can further go into various editing software, even just using simple tools like Canva, and take these images and manipulate them, turn them into YouTube thumbnails, graphics, so much potential. But overall, the main thing is that when you're prompting and using prompts, write as much detail as possible and look at some of these other images for inspiration if you're looking for a specific style. So this is like Midjourney 101, and hopefully this is helpful. And it's a quick way that you can have an overview of this tool, and you can see exactly how to use it, how to edit with it, how to upscale photos really quick, really simple, and your imagination is the limit. Continue to look for some future videos of detailed ways where you can take these images, you can turn it into video for YouTube, for different types of platforms. I'm really looking forward to showing some advanced stuff, but for now, I think these tools will continue to improve, and I'd imagine that Midjourney at some point will release a text to video editor. Follow me for more tutorials, and if you have any specific questions, leave a comment.